Hey, I'm Jason from bowhuntingroad.com. Season's rapidly approaching. We're about 3 weeks from the official start of archery season in the Midwest. Places like Kentucky and further south, their seasons are already underway. So with season coming, it's a good time to go ahead and get your stands hung. I like to generally do this 3 to 4 weeks prior to season. I hunt on public land, so I don't like to leave them out longer than I have to. So one of the most important things to remember when hunting and hanging stand is having some kind of fall protection. By now everybody should be wearing some kind of a fall restraint, some sort of safety harness. There are a lot of companies now making these very comfortable and convenient. It'll provide the protection you need when you're hunting, whether it's 10 feet off the ground or 30. A lot of tree stand manufacturers, they package a harness in with their product. Those will work. They'll provide the protection you need, but they're, one, uncomfortable, and two, they can be very difficult to use. If you know what I'm talking about, you take one of those flimsy nylon webbed harnesses off and you throw it in your box, you pull it out and it's a big knotted mess. Like I said, a lot of companies, they're making them smaller, lightweight, easy to put on, and they'll give you more added protection in case there is a fall. Today I wanted to focus more on using a feature of a lot of harnesses that most people don't either know about or don't use, and that's using a Lineman's belt. I started using a Lineman's belt for hanging stands about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been a godsend. It not only provides you protection, but it provides you hands-free climbing of the tree, allowing you to more easily attach steps and stands. And that's where a lot of people don't realize a lot of falls happen when you're ascending or descending your tree stand. First I'll show you how simple like an aftermarket harness is, or a company that produces them. This one's, I think it weighs like 3 pounds, and it's very good made. Yes, it costs a little bit money, but in my opinion, this is probably one of the most important pieces of equipment we have if you bow hunt from a tree stand. So this one's real easy. You pull it out, you can do whatever you want, it won't get into a knot. You pull it out, open it up, slide it on. You have one here. This one has 2 under the legs. And you're all set. Once you have it on, you can adjust the lower legs, you know, if you want them, if they feel too tight, but the rule of thumb is you don't want them too loose, because then if you do fall, they're going to slide all the way up, and we know what's going to happen there. Unfortunately, some aftermarket harnesses do not come with a Lineman's belt. I have an older harness that I had, which was a good one, but ultimately they've gotten better, so I've upgraded just to be more comfortable. So I'm still using my old Lineman's belt. This one has D-shaped carabiners. That's what you want to look for. Is you want something that's easy to use. This is like they call a locking or a gate style carabiner. Basically, it opens the gate and it has a screw that locks it tight. It's just a safety feature, so you don't accidentally open the gate while you're hanging. Another thing you want to look for on your Lineman's belt is the type of carabiner. This one has a rating of 26 kilonewtons. That's basically a measure of force. It's mass times acceleration. This one's rated for 26 from an 8-foot fall. So this carabiner is more than equipped to handle what I'll be using it for. So another function of your Lineman's belt, again, this is just one of several options. There's tree climbers and stuff that may laugh at this and think this is chintzy, but it's lightweight. Most of your professional climbing Lineman's belts for you know, a lineman or a tree climber, they're very heavy duty, bulky, and some of them have a 2-part system to where if you have an obstacle on the tree, you have another belt that you can fasten above that obstacle, so you're always attached no matter what. This one's just simple. It's already came pre-tied. It has a prusik knot. I think general rule of thumb is it has to have at least 6 loops from the center, 3 to 4 each way. That gives you the strength that's needed to carry the load. But this is very simple. It clips on. This one's hard to see. Your harness has 2 loops. It clips on and goes around the tree. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate with my Hawk helium climbing steps just how simple these are. What's obvious, I already had my first step on the tree. You don't need to. It's obvious you don't need to be tied off first when you're working off the ground. But what I did do was attach my Lineman's belt at the base of the tree, and as you climb, you could work the belt up. They're usually rigid enough so they'll allow you to come up and down. If you have a small obstacle, you can go around it. So that's the trickiest part, is making sure that you have just enough to where you're not hanging too far back or too tight where you can't work. Now that I'm up, I'm tied off. My gates are locked, they're closed, so I can't accidentally bump them and come loose. I like to carry 1 or 2 steps up with me. These Hawk helium steps they're super light. I think less than 3 pounds a piece. So you can just carry 2 of them. They have a really quiet kind of a snap on them, so they don't clink too much. But once you're up, depending on how high you want to be, come down. I like to make sure I don't have too much slack in my strap. Put it around the tree, just how much you need, and a couple more inches. Locks on, pull it tight, then cinch down. Easy as that. As you can see, I'm not trying to hug the tree and trying to balance myself. I have complete hands-free. I got 2 arms to do whatever I want. So next, I'll go ahead and demonstrate hanging a stand. This is even more so important, as you know, stands could be a little bit heavier and bulkier than just a set of steps. Okay, again, naturally I'm close to the ground, but normally I would have another set of steps here, but to kind of make things a little easier to see, I'm just going to do one without. So hanging a stand, you'll use your pull rope or something, hook it on your pocket, your belt loop. That way when you climb, you don't have to carry a bulky stand. I wouldn't recommend carrying one on your back or trying to sling it over your shoulder, because what it does is it throws off your center of balance and it makes it difficult to climb. So instead, once I get up, I use my pull rope to pull up my stand or to where I need it. Generally I hunt 20 to 25 feet, so I have about a 30-foot pull rope. Because you want to make sure when you're hanging your stand, when you're climbing up, you don't get 18 feet up and you run out of rope and it's tight and you have to climb trying to pull that weight. So I recommend having something a little bit longer than when you attend to your height. So I'll go ahead, again, I got 2 hands, I could do, you know, whatever I want. Something I like to do is make sure that my connecting buckle is going to be on the same side of the tree as me. Again, that just makes things easier, where you're not having to reach around the tree and find the buckle and hook it on the stand. This Hawk Helium, this Hawk Combat, it really light. It's the buckles can be reversed, so you can, they unsnap very easily, and they, you know, snap right back in place. So that way you can customize it to whatever side of the tree you're hanging from. So again, I'm gonna do this pretty simple. Like I said, I got plenty of motion to hang and adjust my straps as needed. I'm going to put a little bit of extra where I think I need. Lean up, reach around. I like to use my knee on one of the steps to balance the stand. Go ahead and make sure the strap's up. Pull it tight. Get your slack out. Get it straight. And then you can dig in and make your final adjustments. So that's basically it. Like I said, if you're not using a Lineman's Belt, you're taking a lot of chance. So go ahead and go out, either get you a new harness or get you something comparable to what you see me wearing today. Because like I said, in the end, it's just important that we all go home safe. Thanks for watching.